Down, down, down the road.
Down the witch's road. It was all a hoax. It was all a dream.
It was all. They are who we thought they were.
Welcome, by the way. This is the Glaziar Gamble podcast. Agatha all along's completed. And just like we were insinuating there, if you haven't seen the episodes, this is the finale. Watch our previous episodes if you don't want like as many spoilers. But this is the finale episode, so we're gonna spoil shit right away. We called it. We talked about it. Is the road Wiccan just creating this whole thing like Wanda did? And that's exactly what turns out it was all in Wiccan's head. The fun little twist about it was that the witch's road was something that Agatha was using to like con witches into using their powers on her, which she tried to do, and Jen and I believe Alice both said it, that you're just trying to get us to use our powers on you.
Right. But Wiccan's mind believed it, and so Wiccan's mind believed it, and so it existed.
Yeah. Created the whole thing.
It was cool that Agatha was like it much like the last episode, or much like episode 7, Lilia kind of, it all came together for her, and you kind of see it all come together for Agatha a little bit, where like the realization, like she realized it as it kind of went by, and I thought that was cool how she picked up on those things. We didn't notice she picked up on Billy's things,
right?
You know what I mean? But then like as she like looked through everything, it makes a ton of sense that she figured it out too. So
yeah, well, we talked about how like Agatha was acting weird, and like we turned out like basically every time where Agatha said something where she was seemingly acting weird was her basically acknowledging that she actually knows all along what was happening.
Sure.
See what I did there? Right. Get out.
Yeah.
He said the thing. Oh, Jesus. But it was, I don't know. These last 2 episodes were, I don't know if they were as good as number 7, but
I thought 8 was fantastic.
I thought 8 was so good.
I thought 8 was right up there with 7.
Yeah.
If not, like you could talk me into it being better too. Like I thought it had everything.
I think what made 9 good was similar with a lot of Marvel things, is like what you had already learned versus also what it implies for the future is what makes 9 so good, compared to like episodes 7 and 8 were good because of the writing, the acting, like everything worked together.
The powers.
Everything
like
was
powers
cool.
too. Yeah.
As opposed to like episode 9 was good because of what it meant, not necessarily because the writing was great or like all that. It was just like we got a lot of loose ends tied up, and they were giving a lot of information to the audience, which makes us feel
I guess my favorite part about 9 was that it was and maybe it was the end of 8, but like 9 just was like comic accurate.
Yeah.
Like it just had a lot of comic accuracy that they decided to go with, and and that makes me happy too. Like that, just where it comes to Agatha and Billy and Jennifer, like all that too.
Yeah.
And
I'm glad that not every witch died.
Yeah.
It's cool that Jennifer's alive.
Do you know who Jennifer Kale is?
In the comics?
Yeah.
No, not familiar.
Jennifer Kale has a cousin. She's a magic user. Jennifer Kale's a magic user, but she has a cousin. Okay. This cousin goes by the name of Johnny Blaze.
Oh, so her cousin is Human Torch?
Her cousin is Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
Johnny Storm versus Johnny Blaze.
Yeah, we have all the Johnnies.
So her cousin is Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider.
I wonder if they're trying to tell us, like, give us a hint at what Ghost Rider, maybe Ghost Rider's coming up, because she mentioned Mephisto. She knows about Mephisto.
Right.
She's the character that mentioned it. That'd be cool. And she flies off. Like, that's cool.
So yeah, super cool. I didn't know that personally, but then I saw that, and I fact checked it, and I was like, that's awesome.
You said you weren't going to be fact checking.
Well, I fact checked that because I had to.
Oh
I had to
god.
know.
But yeah,
Are
so
you fact checking my fact checking?
yeah, I did. I'm sorry. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I hope that means that we're gonna see Ghost Rider. That's a whole nother additional thing that this show is like spinning off of. That's pretty cool,
Right,
especially with Midnight Suns, being teased. We got
right.
where Doctor
The
Strange
Blade and Black Knight, and now apparently just tangent Blade
was suspended.
is suspended, but now like it's coming, like it's in the works to come back. Like
This
it's
would be
so
the
back and
seventh
forth.
restart of the creation
Right,
of
but
Blade.
apparently the script looks good. Mahershala Ali likes the script, and they're
He
just
said
trying
that
to.
last time.
I know that they're trying to find a director for it, so we'll see.
Yeah, I honestly don't trust it until filming wraps.
Yeah, right.
Like that
Yeah,
project is cursed.
yeah,
It's so like I want Blade to happen. I want it to be Mahershala Ali, but with Eternals 2 being canceled and the post credit of
yeah. They
that,
wouldn't have even shown up in Eternals 2, though. I feel
well, I'm just saying, like, because
maybe,
the post
yeah,
credit scene,
right,
and then so you have that, and then you have Blade constantly restarting,
yeah,
and having zero reference of where Doctor Strange went at the end of Multiverse of Madness since it has
right,
happened,
right.
and Werewolf by Night not hitting the numbers they wanted. Everything points to like Ghost Rider and that group, the Midnight Suns,
Yeah,
that group not really being
yeah.
on the forefront.
We'll have to see what they want to do with Punisher, kind of,
Yeah,
at Daredevil Born Again. But yeah, that's just a tangent. Like apparently,
that's really cool. I hope
yeah.
they do a really good job with Ghost Rider because honestly, the Nick Cage ones aren't as bad as they get like the rap for.
No, I mean for that time, like
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
It's if you look at a lot of movies from early
And
2000s, 90s.
I'm glad they did decide they are deciding to go with Johnny Blaze rather than like Robbie Reyes, because like Robbie Reyes should be the like second iteration of
Right.
that.
Yeah, kind of like how
So
we've been seeing that where we have heroes that have the ability to pass down to the next one like they should have
right.
done with Venom. Um other let me just
What was
slide
that? Was
that
that
in.
last little?
I said I was just watching the show and I really liked it. And anyway, Jennifer lived. Very happy about that. Turned out it was all in Wiccan's mind. But sticking with the comic book accuracy thing, we talked about this previously, but like Agatha was Billy's tutor in the comics.
Right.
Like she was the one that taught him how to really master his powers, turn him into the powerful witch that he became. And now she's doing that just in a different
Right.
way.
Yeah, she did that with Wanda too. I think they did take a big chunk of that, how she used to like essentially train Wanda as well.
Now she's got the white hair like she had in the comics. So they tried to
Right.
make it a little bit more comic
Oh yeah.
booky.
Yep. Yeah. And then yeah, I mean I know that Wiccan also like trains with Doctor Strange for a little bit, and Doctor Strange obviously has like America Chavez too. So he's got this own little like magic group of like kids too. And now they're gonna, I mean, Billy passed the road, Jennifer passed the road, and Agatha ultimately did what she did, but they're gonna go find another very powerful kid to join the mix too. So yeah, I don't know. I like Toby.
Yeah, which the end of the show was her saying, "Let's go find Tommy."
Right.
And we know that Tommy was put into the body of a kid that has no family, no friends, and was just murdered by a bunch of other kids.
A bunch of his friends, yeah, pushed into a deep lake, and he probably can't swim.
Well, he was being held under in the images.
Oh,
he was
sure,
being held
yeah.
under.
And so he drowns, and Billy thinks he killed the kid, but he wasn't killing the kid.
Right, and then
like,
Agatha
the friends were
sometimes
killing the kid.
boys just die.
Yeah. And but he did put all the memories of Tommy and Tommy into that kid. You know what I mean? So
right
as he died. So then I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we know where Tommy is. We know kind of what Tommy looks like. Looked like it was like a dirty blondish hair looking
Yeah, I mean
kid.
Tommy's got like whitish hair, so we'll see how they. It'd be weird to have like a 16-year-old with white hair. I guess that'd be like unoriginal. I like not unoriginal, but like abnormal. I guess so. Like Tommy did in the comics, had like whitish hair.
Yeah, I mean, but Wiccan doesn't really look exactly like he
Quick,
did in the
so yeah,
comics.
right. So
Agatha's nowhere near as old as she
right,
looked in the
yeah,
comics.
yeah.
I do
Death
think
is a smoke show. Like, come on. Like,
yeah, I was just about to say we probably will never see her again, which is
Lady Death.
sad. Yeah, we'll probably never see Lady Death again, but we got enough of what of her.
We could. We
don't
could
think
just
we
for the
will.
fact of you could bring Jennifer Kale if Jennifer Kale finds Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze can deal with death. Like you could. There's that angle. It's a spirit of vengeance, you know. So
And
he could.
let's
That'd
just
be the only angle. Like I don't think you could wrap Rio back into it without Johnny Blaze because
Sure.
that connects to the story.
and let's just nip this in the butt before anybody freaks out. So with Jennifer being a black woman, there is a good chance that her cousin Johnny Blaze is black. There's a good chance Ghost Rider will be black.
It
So
could be, yeah.
just gonna jump ahead of the people that want to, because for some reason Marvel fans either hate women or hate like other races
People of
that
color,
aren't white.
ethnicity. Right?
Ghost Rider is supposed to be somebody that can it's like a being that can pass through anyone, like it can be in anyone.
Yeah, the spirit of vengeance. Yeah.
So there's just jumping ahead of it now. Zero reason to complain if Johnny Blaze is black. Zero reason.
Yeah.
Just gonna start that now, and that's all I have. Like, that's it. Ghost Rider might be black. Be okay with it. There's gonna be nothing wrong with it. I promise. Like with the setup that they've done with Werewolf by Night, with Doctor Strange, everything. Like I have really high hopes for Ghost Rider when they eventually do bring Ghost Rider in.
Like the darker side of Marvel, kind of.
Right. Yeah. Kind of. We want street level. We want darker, and then the light stuff. I want really light and bright, like Wiccan's costume.
Yeah, I thought his costume was bad.
Yeah, it was.
I think it looks
cool,
so good.
Super
too.
like the colors are bright and vibrant, which is something that we've asked for, that Marvel has slowly been putting back into it. Like, oh, maybe people don't want the muted neutral colors. Maybe they do want it to feel like an actual comic book. Like,
even like
Hulk should be more green than that.
It made me think of like just bringing up the costumes and the costumes being like light and vibrant and stuff like that. Like I still think like one of the best costume reveals was like Sam Wilson's Captain America costume.
Yeah,
like I think that one was just red and white and blue and bright and shiny. Like it was sick.
Yep.
And then like even like US agents costume being this like darker Captain America one, like it wasn't appealing. But then as soon as he like was the black costume with the white and red and blue shield on the front of it, and it was black, like that was more like vibrant than the pale blue. So like just even like the costumes in general, even their darker costumes are still pop. Yeah, I guess
for sure.
So
I hope they stick with that. I hope they stick with the comic costumes being bright, and then when they do go dark, I want them to lean. It's kind of like a little on tangent, but going rated R with the proper things that need to be rated R.
Right.
They need to
TV mature.
Right. They need to lean into what things actually are, as opposed to trying to make it too much of their own. You can make it your own with the story. You don't have to make it your own with costumes, and like Punisher should be destroying people.
Yeah, he should be killing people.
Deadpool should be cutting heads off. Like it's just that's what should happen. They need to be rated R. Venom, Carnage should be rated
Blade
R.
should be freaking brutal. Like
it should be brutal.
Yeah, and so like I know like the costumes, you're gonna get some dull costumes because they in the little Daredevil teaser, you've seen like he looks over like a couple different helmets. It's like the red, and then he's got the gold one, and then there's like a black one too. So we might get the black Daredevil costume in this, just depending. And then obviously you're gonna have Punisher in it, where it's like his costume is primarily black, like it's dark, but the skull's the thing that's supposed to pop. So like we'll see how they do it in the next series that comes out.
And sometimes cheesiness, corniness is good. Like there were parts of Agatha all along the whole show. There were parts that were like cheesy, didn't really need to happen the way they did. They have to be extra dramatic. For example, something I would love to see, because Punisher has like such a dark costume, but the skull is supposed to be white. I would love a scene in which at night lightning flashes and the only thing you really see is the super bright skull.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dramatic. Yeah, that's
skull.
cheesy.
Yeah.
But it's still cool. Like you still get chills when cheesy things happen sometimes. It's just, that's the way it's got to be. Like that's what makes movies and shows good. That's why you're watching them, is because they don't exactly emulate real life.
Right.
And I think a lot of what Agatha did the whole show was dramatic, but that's what made it so good. That's why I think the show is so popular, is it leaned so hard into who these characters were. The acting obviously helps a lot. A lot of these actors, all of them, I liked every single actor in the show. They were so good.
Yeah.
But they all leaned into what they were supposed to do. Like they all took it to 100. Not a single one was ever, holding back. It never once felt like they were holding back.
Sure.
And I just think Marvel needs to continue with that with every project. If somebody feels like they're holding back, they need to redo it. Maybe that's what's going on with Blade. But it needs to keep going and going and going until you get it perfect, because Agatha, every episode was better than I expected. Since episode 1, I had lower expectations for this show. Not like low, but lower than, say, what I had for Loki. And every single episode surpassed my expectations.
Sure. Yeah, I think just off the bat for me, like I always tend to not connect with a character, but like find the character that I want to like follow, like I want to care about. And that was like Joe Luck's character. So like I already knew Agatha, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm trying to find a new character, and I think just Joe Luck did an incredible job of being that like angsty teen, but also still being the kind of person that turns into the Wiccan, and just how he emulates that. But he also didn't like get that many opportunities to kind of showcase what he can do. There he a little bit, right? And like the whole thing was basically him, but like you don't really see him fight all that much and get these the Scarlet Witch attacking Camartage, like that kind of fighting, or Doctor Strange defending, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
something like that.
Absolutely.
And so like now when that hits, it's going to be like this is what we've been waiting for Wiccan, to like see him do that.
Do you think so? When he gave Agatha some of his power, do you think that was them trying to say they're going to nerf Wiccan, or do you think his power is going to slowly grow back to where it was?
I think he'll retain all of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he'll retain all of it. I think he was just doing that. He was doing that that happened in the story to show that Agatha had changed.
Where she's not going to kill him.
Right.
Even though she had the opportunity to.
Right. Yeah, he was pretty close there.
Yeah. Yeah, he was drained of everything at that point. He was looking like a skull.
Yeah.
But okay, I was just wondering, because like we're not.
I think he'll retain that 100%.
Insane.
Yeah, I think he'll retain all of that. I don't think that's close, because even after that, even after he was drained, it was a little shoddy, but he eventually did like telepathically talk to her. Like it took a little bit, like it was very like
they had an echo or reverb to it.
Yeah, so he couldn't like he couldn't do it crisply, I guess. Maybe that's like how I interpreted
Professor X, like how they display him. Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I hesitate to say it, but I think this might be the second best Marvel show that they've come out with.
Yeah, I mean, there's always like you could tell me that like certain episodes of other shows were better. Like you could
Sure.
tell me like a WandaVision episode, right? Or like I think it was like episode 4 or something like that of WandaVision where
Where she like breaks
she
through the wall and
breaks
addresses the
all because
people.
she's all talking all Sokovian and turns all that stuff. Like that was sick.
Yeah.
So and like that was when I think Photon goes through the wall and like Photon's part of it.
Isn't that
So
where she comes out and she like faces all the guns at the military scene?
yeah,
It's like leave me
yeah,
alone, then turns back
yeah,
in.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
like that's crazy. And so yeah, I think that was like the FMP. Maybe that was the FM Peters. I don't know what it was, but it was like that, like peak episodes of certain shows. Like the She-Hulk, Daredevil ones were really good. You know, what I mean, like I think you could tell me that episodes
Secret Invasion.
of other shows. What was that? What was that one?
Secret Invasion.
You could tell me episodes of certain shows
What about
peaked higher.
What about Secret Invasion?
That didn't happen.
That one didn't come. That one didn't come to mind when you were thinking
No.
about elite shows and episodes.
No.
No. No.
You can tell me peak episodes of other shows peaked higher than this. Granted, episode 7 was really good. Like episode 7 was really good. Episode 8 was really good. But yeah, overall the entirety of this show has got to be up there. It's got to be up there. So
right up there with Secret Invasion.
Yeah, right.
So like we were just talking about like shows that really that surpass our expectations. Like every episode surpassed here. If you're looking for the opposite end of the spectrum, I would say Secret Invasion and What If are like my expectations going in were like maybe way too high. But then when it actually came out, even if I enjoyed parts of it or episodes of it, it under-delivered as a whole so badly.
Yeah, I think the problem with What If is that everyone wants to know what their what if would be.
Yeah.
And so you're getting stories that you don't necessarily care about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
but the main one fans want is what happens, like what about the other 50% for
yeah, what if the other half got snapped?
Yeah, and you haven't done that.
And you have Shuri and Doctor Strange on the same side. Like they're just like, okay, like we'll just solve this pretty quick here. Yeah, and Wanda. God.
You have Wanda to like extreme power, possibly use the Darkhold. You got Strange, you got Shuri. Like you have the brain, you have Spider-Man's brains. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I want to see what the other half would do. But 2 seasons by and they, gave us Black Panther as Star-Lord, which was cool, but
yeah, and they gave us Captain Carter 16 times.
Without putting her as like bringing her into the MCU besides getting murdered by Wanda. Like
I could do this all day. Psych.
I could do this for another 2 seconds. But back to Agatha. I don't know. I thought Wiccan, they showed off a little bit of him, which was cool. We got a good reveal. We got a clean ending with Jen. In the beginning of the episode, we got to see what death, like taking you, was like, which she took Alice. So then we knew when she took Nicholas in the finale, we knew that like Agatha was about to wake up to a dead son.
Sure.
And obviously with the coughing, they were foreshadowing he was about to die.
Right.
But like we got the wrap up of what happened to Nicholas. I don't understand why she thinks Nicholas would hate her. Like why she doesn't want to face Nikki in the afterlife, but to me it's like you didn't do anything wrong besides like you used him to kill witches, but outside of that, like you gave him a good life, right?
Right.
Why would he hate you?
Right. Yeah, you obviously cared about him, so it's like a little off. But,
I'm a little confused.
I saw a post that said Agatha was supposed to die in childbirth.
Oh, so like death was there for her, not him?
Yeah. Yeah. But in turn, she was in the middle of, nowhere, right? So like if
So
she
then
birthed
it
a child and then died, like the child would have died too,
so the
So
real deal is like the
Rios
swap was you
gave
can
her
take my
time.
kid instead of me. Like
Right. Yeah.
you get time with your kid, but then I'm taking your kid instead of you if you want to live.
Yeah.
Something like
She
that.
gave well, I mean, and it's almost
Which then gives him a
like
reason to
there's no
dislike
bad
her.
like there's so like death is not the bad person in that
That's
situation.
not the bad
Like
in any situation, really.
right. And so like that's not like murder. But I mean like
Well, like I can't. Well, right, but like death
in
didn't
that
murder
specific
you,
situation, like she takes Agatha, Agatha dies, Nicholas dies.
right?
She takes Nicholas, Agatha incredibly sad.
Mm-hmm.
She gives them both time and then eventually comes for Nicholas, like the debt had to be paid, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Eventually. And so Rio gave her that time and then eventually got to the point where it's like I have to take him now.
And
Like
I don't know. I'm sure people have talked about this, but I really love how they did like the kiss of death.
yeah, that's exactly what it says, like the kiss of death right at
Yep.
the end.
Like
So
when she kissed Rio and then she died, and it was like, oh, like does that happen anytime Rio kisses somebody? Like it's
right.
literally the kiss of death, or was
Well,
that just a
that you
play
have to
on words that
imagine
they
that
just
you
did?
have to imagine like the touch of death is something too, but that might be something she can hold
Right. And how
back a
often
little
does
bit.
death really kiss somebody? So that would
Right.
make a lot of sense if anybody she kissed died.
Right. I mean, I would, but I mean,
It'd be worth it, I think.
I think so.
I
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if that's what it like, if I had to be, some sort of minion for death, or like if that's what it takes, probably on that list, right?
Right.
I'm probably behind my wife on that list, but she likes Aubrey Plaza so much.
Sure.
Me too, though. She's
Right.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Speaking of hilarious, Joe Locke was hilarious. Catherine Hahn was really good. Like, there was a lot of awesome acting in this
Shout
show.
out to the Saw poster in the back of Billy's room
There was the
too.
Saw poster, the Evanescent CD cover.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a Jennifer's body
There's a
poster.
Jennifer's body. There's obviously the Wizard of Oz that they made a reference to.
Yeah.
There was the Trans Lives Matter poster that like they never took like panned away from that, which was a clear directive choice. A lot of it was like I tried to look at everything in that room. I really tried
Yeah.
to look as much
They
as I could.
now Jack Schaefer, when she was asked about it, she's asked about Wanda. She's like, "Is Wanda alive? Is Wanda dead?" And Jack Schaefer said, "I was specifically told to use the word gone."
So
So
maybe Mephisto has her.
she was specifically told to use the word gone, like Wanda is gone and all the copies of the Darkhold with her. That's exactly like line for line. That's how she had to include that line in there. She
Okay.
couldn't say dead. So
See, and
I mean,
that's the thing. Hey, Sony, that it's a line you're required to use, but you can make the product that you want to make if you do a good job.
yeah.
Like
Sometimes
they
it's all that line that matters to keep your world together. Like it's
right.
just one line that keeps reference to a big event that
Mm-hmm.
came from this
And
show.
now we know
So
Wanda's still somewhere, just gone.
right.
Like maybe with Mephisto. Maybe that's why
She was
Cleo was
realm hopping
there.
too. Like she was multiverse hopping. She could just be in another world. Like
She
she
could
could
be in
have
some sort of limbo.
yeah, Matt. You could see magic. Like it could be. She's in limbo actually.
Right.
So
Like
yeah.
all of those things could be happening, but now because they didn't use the word dead, we have a discussion, we have thoughts, we have open-endedness where even if the writers don't know where they're going, at least they know something
People
is true.
people were like at the end when Billy was right next to death and someone was like, it only takes 5 seconds to ask about Wanda. And it's like Billy doesn't care about Wanda. That's what people don't understand.
Right.
Like Billy doesn't care about Wanda. Like even in the comics, he doesn't call her mom at all. He's like either calls her like Wanda or the Scarlet Witch.
Billy cares about Tommy.
Right.
Because he's
So
not like he was a creation, he wasn't birthed.
right.
Like he's a creation. Like he's he has a way closer attachment to Tommy, and honestly, a closer attachment to Agatha because of how much she
Yeah,
tutors
and
him
his
in the
actual
craft.
parents, like, and his actual, like, the Kaplans.
Right.
So,
So
yeah.
like,
So, I
which is
mean,
going to be another
it's
slap
not
in
the
the face
fact
to Wanda.
it's not the fact that he doesn't care about Wanda, because like
Mhm.
Wanda obviously very much cares about both of them.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be like he's going to be like hesitant. Like it's
Hmm.
not going to be like, oh my god, mom, like, and maybe he might remember some of those things, right? But like you have to think it's been years, and like
Well, and he even
the
says, "She is not
tragedy
my
that
mother. I have a
right,
mother."
right. And so like he almost harbors a little bit of hatred.
Yeah.
So
Very similar
and
to, for those who watch Once Upon a Time, like Wanda and the evil queen, Regina, have a very common, like very similar storyline in which, like, even when they do find happiness, it is short lived because of all the decisions they made to get where they are.
sure,
All the decisions they've made is like, no, you're still gonna get punished because of what you've done.
right,
Like Thanos was never really gonna find true peace and happiness, even if the Avengers never came for him.
right,
At some point in his life, he was gonna get taken down because of all the decisions he had made.
sure,
And that's, I mean, Scarlet Witch, when she does eventually get back to Billy and Tommy, they're not going to embrace her like a mother,
yeah,
because Billy is gonna care more about Tommy and like be close with Agatha, to which then
right,
Wanda's gonna get mad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I mean, they definitely have a redeeming arc for her because they know that everyone loves her. Like
Yeah.
it's, yeah. But she did murder the hundreds of thousands of people. So, I
Uh-huh.
mean, hundreds, if not thousands. But, you know, everyone can redeem themselves. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's
No.
fine.
I'm all on the keep Scarlet Witch depressed train. Like, she the sacrifice, like her sacrificing herself where she would have actually be dead, I think is an appropriate ending to her character. So the fact that we know she's not, she's just gone. I get it, but
There's
like she's,
still like especially if mutants are on the horizon, like
yeah,
you have to have her for that. Like it, like Marvel's got to look at that and be like, okay, we have to somehow, in my opinion, you have to redeem her to get that iconic moment that everyone wants from her.
sure.
So, in some way, shape, or form, you got to have her redeem that, and then you have to have her do House of M or a reverse House of M, something like that, because that's what everyone wants. I mean, that's what a lot of people want, and I don't think you can do the Mutant Saga without that.
And they've done a really
So,
good job of giving us, what we want. Obviously, they've strayed away for some things, but they can't give you everything. But for the most
right,
part, Marvel has done a pretty good job of giving the fans at least a good chunk of what they want.
right,
And I think Wanda will get that redemption arc because that's what fans want, and the amount of
yeah,
money it would make them for people to
yeah,
know.
insane, man. Like the House of M storyline is just
Just like
it's something,
reviving
man.
Blade, reviving Ghost Rider, like
Yeah,
those will bring in money no matter how much you
Deadpool in the
spend.
MCU, like
Right.
Deadpool in the MCU. So
Deadpool interacting with Tom Holland,
yeah, yeah.
having a
And Daredevil,
Venom in the
like a red,
MCU was
like
important.
seeing red movie type thing.
Right. Yeah.
Daredevil
They're
and
going to
Spider Man.
give us these things because that's, something a lot of fans want. And eventually we're going to get most, if not all, of the
Yeah,
characters, even
yeah,
like the
from
niche
Marvel.
characters from
But then
Marvel.
you look at Sony, and they're like, let's give them nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're
Madam
still going
Web,
to get those niche characters that you even like, some of the side characters that some people are like, this is my favorite, even though people don't really like him. It's like, you're
even
probably going to get that one.
like Jennifer Kale.
Or Elsa
Like,
Bloodstone. Like,
yeah,
she's
oh yeah.
she's here.
Wait till she gets going, man. Like Elsa Bloodstone's badass too.
Yeah.
Wait till she goes down into like hell and starts hunting shit. Like she's got these big ass guns and she's blasting. Like
Yeah. She's
it's
got
gonna be
like
badass.
shotguns, rifles too.
Yeah, it's like she's got like rifles. She's got like shotgun rifles. She's got traps. She's gonna be crazy. Like it's gonna be crazy cool.
I think eventually they're just gonna give you all of it. So it's more about patience and letting them do it right, as opposed to,
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. Yeah, bring it right back to that. Patience, doing it right, taking years to make a show like Agatha because they have wanted to lay the foundations of what's going on, which is why my expectations for Fantastic Four have been dropping. But if they keep making hits like Agatha, I feel like maybe they will be doing Fantastic Four right. Even though I wasn't
Right.
a huge fan of Pedro Pascal being cast, like all this, like maybe they are going to be doing it right, and I should just not worry about it. That's a good lesson to anybody who's watching it. Just maybe trust Marvel that they're going to be doing it right because they've messed up so many times.
Pedro Pascal is like, he doesn't obviously like have the look you expect.
Not at
But
all.
like his like how he goes about roles is like actually Reed Richards. Like he's like
Sure.
he tries to like how I don't know how to explain it. Like I've seen him do like an interview on how he like gets ready for
Like how he
roles,
prepares.
and he's literally like Reed Richards. Like
It's
in
just
the way
Doom.
he
Doom and Reed Richards are my two biggest concerns.
yeah. But that being said, like Vanessa Kirby, if they want to make her like kind of a little bit of the focal point,
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna kill. Like the
They
cast,
will. Invisible
yeah,
Woman always becomes the focus.
yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be.
It's always
great.
like a big story on the Thing because he's depressed,
Yeah,
and then there's always a huge focus on Invisible Woman.
right.
Like those are the two. Like you would think Human Torch and Mr. Fantastic are the focus, but the other two are always in the movies the main focus.
Right.
Like always. Oh,
Because they're both hot, you know.
exactly. The Thing just always hard. Wait, there was something I was gonna say about that, but for those of you that are watching this, especially still watching it, maybe you haven't seen our Venom 3 review yet. I thought we did a really good job on Venom 3. I also think we did a good job on the previous Agatha episode. I thought rewatching both felt good to watch. I thought we did a good job. But Venom 3, if you haven't seen it, it came out before Pitch Meeting. Obviously, Pitch Meeting, massive channel, very popular.
Oh yeah, I got it. We'll watch that.
Ryan George, very funny. Very good at what he does.
Oh my God.
Even his personal channel, very funny. The Venom 3 one was very, very good. And he basically references every single thing we talk about in our review, that any complaint we had is brought up in that.
Sure.
And like I feel like he does a really good job of breaking down movies in that like short time span to do that.
Right.
We hit everything. There was nothing he talked about in that pitch meeting that we didn't reference.
Yeah, I can already see where he would fit in an unclear. Like
Yeah, like you know how he usually says, oh, when the blah 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 happens, it's tight.
Yeah.
He even
and then the other person goes, "Oh my God."
he even psychs you out with that. He attaches it to Venom, but he goes, "Oh, building up something and just to not give it to you is good." And instead of saying tight, he says good because like that's what Venom did to you. Is like they built it up, did this. And he referenced that the cockroach at the end does have symbiote on it.
Sure.
He references he talks about the fact that the symbiotes are able to attach to all the scientists, even though in the first movie, didn't we talk about how it's really hard for them to find it? He goes, "Hey, shut up." And
yeah. I mean, they can take over it, right? But it's gonna mess with them. Like they're not all like perfect
matches. None of them are supposed to be perfect matches. So it's like, why does this work so easily for everyone?
Right.
And yeah, he even talked about that. So I thought, if you haven't seen our Venom review and you like, especially if you've come from the pitch meeting and you like those sorts of things, if you want a little bit more in depth where we talk about the good and the bad, check out our Venom 3 review, because watching that just confirmed to me that we did a very good job on our Venom episode. It was perfect. And let us know, did you like our Agatha breakdown? Did you like Agatha overall as a show? We have next week, I think we have a good amount of material to put in an episode because Marvel came out with trailers upon trailers upon trailers
And like a slate, like a mini slate
and a
coming
mini
out.
slate. So I feel like
Yeah,
that's probably what we'll talk about next week in our episode. So if you're
for
interested in
sure.
that, come check it out. And let us know. Did you like Agatha? Did you like I mentioned that every episode surpassed expectations. Did you feel the same way, or did this show not hit for you? For those of you that it didn't hit, I really want to know why. Just very curious. Why didn't this show work for you? Because it really worked for me. Do you have anything else to add?
Let's see. I want to just commend this show on doing something different, just in general. Like just even like the Lilia Calderu episode was like so different than what they've done before. And then for them to change things up on big events, like say the Billy Kaplan dying and then Billy Maximoff's soul going into him. I thought that was a really cool change up, a really cool switch up. And then at the end, they did bring in the comic accuracy. So they changed, which I'm 100% fine with change. Like even like the Miss Marvel power set change, or her going from an inhuman to a mutant, I'm okay with that because the comic world isn't this world. And so for that to happen, kind of some switch up where Billy Kaplan just dies in a car crash and then Billy Maximoff takes over, that's different than the comics. But then they also hit you with some comic accuracy, much like say Miss Marvel did, and they gave you a pretty close suit, like suit change, stuff like that. So I just want to commend them for being different and also giving us what we want at the end, which is comic accuracy. So yeah, other than that, I thought it was great. I think it's we could even fill an episode with like our favorite shows and break just the shows down. Not break the shows down, but like put them in a list. You know what I mean? So
tier list of Marvel
tier
shows.
list. Yeah. That'd be great.
Hell yeah. Fun. I'd be down with that. Sweet. Well, thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week with another episode. Just want to let you all know, look great today.
GG.
Woo! Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. Have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt.